What if I told you that Apple's next iPad Pro isn't just another yearly refresh, but a full-blown technological leap that could fundamentally redefine what we think a tablet can do? That's exactly what's happening with the upcoming M5 iPad Pro, a device so powerful, so shockingly fast, and so ahead of its time that it's already making headlines months before its expected launch. The leaks and benchmark results we're seeing right now don't just show an incremental performance boost. They paint a picture of a tablet that could rival high-end desktops and gaming laptops, all while fitting into a device you can slip into your backpack. Today, we're going deep into every single detail you need to know. From the jaw-dropping benchmark scores and massive GPU performance leap, to the rumored RAM upgrades, potential design changes, and the bigger reason why Apple is building this device the way they are. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to see why the M5 iPad Pro might just be Apple's most important product of the decade. Let's start with the part that's getting every tech insider buzzing: the leaked Geekbench scores for the M5 chip. If these numbers are even remotely accurate, they're nothing short of astonishing. The M5 is reportedly scoring around 4,133 in single-core performance, compared to about 3,748 from the M4, and while that might not seem huge at first glance, it's an enormous jump in the world of chip design. But where things really get crazy is in the multi-core results. With a reported score of 15,437, demolishing the M4's roughly 13,324. That's a massive generational leap, and it suggests Apple isn't just polishing last year's silicon. They're pushing into new territory entirely. These scores don't just make the M5 iPad Pro faster than any other tablet. They put it toe-to-toe with powerful laptops and even some desktop CPUs. And then there's the GPU, which is where the real shocker comes in. Early results hint at a jump from around 53,000 to roughly 74,568. That's nearly a 50% boost in graphics performance. That kind of improvement doesn't happen by accident. It's a sign that Apple is deliberately engineering this chip to tackle workloads that were previously out of reach for mobile devices. Console-quality gaming, professional 3D rendering, advanced AI computation, and real-time visual effects. And that brings us to the bigger picture: why the M5 is such a big deal in Apple's strategy. For years, Apple has been hinting at a future where your iPad isn't just a companion device. It's the core of your digital life. And the M5 could be the chip that finally makes that vision possible. According to industry insiders, Apple is using a second-generation 3nm process for the M5, allowing them to pack in even more transistors while reducing power consumption and heat. That's crucial, because it means Apple can push the chip harder without draining the battery or throttling performance. The result? A tablet that can run desktop-class software effortlessly. Think full Final Cut Pro timelines, complex 3D scenes in Blender, or even AODA-level games, all without breaking a sweat. It's no exaggeration to say the M5 iPad Pro could become a serious contender for replacing laptops entirely, especially for professionals on the go. Another major rumor that's generating excitement is about memory. Historically, Apple has been conservative with RAM in iPads. Even the powerful M4 models started at 8GB. But that's about to change. The M5 iPad Pro is rumored to start at 12GB of RAM and could go as high as 24GB in top-tier configurations. That's workstation-level memory in a device that weighs less than a pound. And that matters more than most people realize. Extra RAM doesn't just make apps launch faster. It completely transforms what the device can do. It means you'll be able to edit massive 8K ProRes video projects, work on huge Photoshop files with dozens of layers, or run multiple pro-level apps side by side without a single hiccup. Combined with ultra-fast SSD storage options, possibly up to 2TB, the M5 iPad Pro is shaping up to be a true powerhouse for professionals in creative fields like video editing, design, 3D modeling, and even machine learning. Now, let's talk about the GPU in a bit more depth, because this is where Apple is clearly trying to dominate. A 50% boost isn't a small step. It's a leap that opens up entirely new possibilities. For gamers, this means that console-level experiences are finally coming to iPad. We're talking about high-end graphics with real-time ray tracing, smooth frame rates even in the most demanding titles, and the potential for game developers to bring 8AA-level titles directly to iPadOS without compromise. But the GPU power isn't just for gaming. It's going to be a game-changer for creative professionals, too. Imagine rendering a 3D animation on your iPad while you're on a flight, or editing multiple streams of 8K footage without needing to offload anything to a desktop. Even AR and AI developers stand to benefit, with enough power to run complex simulations or machine learning models right on the device. This isn't about making the iPad better, it's about fundamentally changing what the iPad is capable of. When it comes to the physical design of the M5 iPad Pro, Apple seems to be sticking to a "don't fix what isn't broken" philosophy. Reports suggest that the overall chassis and industrial design will remain largely the same: slim, lightweight, and unmistakably premium. But that doesn't mean there won't be improvements. We're hearing about thinner bezels, a brighter and more color-accurate OLED Ultra Retina XDR display, and even more advanced HDR performance. These might sound like small refinements, but they'll make a big difference in daily use, especially for creative professionals who rely on accurate visuals for their work. The display in particular could see a notable upgrade, with improved refresh rates and possibly adaptive brightness tuned specifically for HDR workflows. So, when can we actually expect this powerhouse to hit the market? Most leaks point to a launch in late 2025, likely in October or November. Apple usually reserves the fall for its most important iPad launches, and that timing would line up perfectly with their production schedule for the new chip. And yes, that means we're still several months away, but the fact that we're already seeing benchmark leaks this early suggests that Apple is deep into development and likely finalizing hardware decisions right now. Production of the M5 chip and related components has probably already begun, which means these leaks are likely closer to reality than speculation. Now, let's take a step back and look at the broader implications. The M5 iPad Pro isn't just a product, it's a turning point. It's Apple's loudest statement yet that the iPad is no longer a secondary device. It's evolving into a full-fledged computing platform capable of doing everything your laptop can do, and in many cases, doing it better. This device is the culmination of years of Apple's vision for a post-PC era where power, portability, and performance converge into a single device that you can use anywhere for anything. And if the M5 delivers on the promises these leaks are hinting at, that vision might finally become reality. The big question now is what this means for the future of Apple's product lineup. Could the iPad Pro eventually replace the MacBook for the average user? It's not as far-fetched as it once sounded. With the M5's desktop-class performance, vast RAM options, and industry-leading GPU power, the iPad Pro will be capable of tasks that once required a full-fledged Mac. Of course, Apple will likely keep both lines alive, but the gap between them is shrinking fast. And for many users, especially creative professionals, the M5 iPad Pro could easily become their primary machine. In the end, one thing is crystal clear. The M5 iPad Pro is shaping up to be one of Apple's most important devices in years. It's not just another iPad. It's a bold statement about where the future of computing is headed. And if even half of these leaks turn out to be true, we're about to witness a performance leap unlike anything we've seen before in a mobile device. So the question is, are you ready to leave your laptop behind? Because Apple is betting that after the M5 iPad Pro arrives, you just might.